Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I've decided to do another foundation video today because my KVD Vegan Beauty Good Apple Foundation did really well and it seemed like you all like that. So I'm going to follow the same format in this video that I used for that one. So literally, forgive my hair, I just rolled out of bed and there was a package outside, which it still blows my mind that you get packages on Sunday now. I don't know why. But I had a package from Ulta and it had this, I'm not sure how new it is or when it came out, but it's newer, from the brand Catrice. So you can get this at catrice.com or at Ulta. As I said, I ordered mine from Ulta. And this is their True Skin Hydrating Foundation. This is a foundation that is specifically listed as being medium coverage, but buildable to full coverage if you would want that. It has hyaluronic acid in it, which usually is good for my skin specifically, and I think people with textured skin typically like having foundations with hyaluronic acid. And so I'm curious to just see how this goes on. This will be the first time that I'm using it. Just like in my previous video, I'm going to do half my face with a foundation brush and half my face with a sponge. I did do a little reading on the foundation, and they suggested that you use 1 pump for medium coverage for your face and 2 pumps for full coverage. So I'm going to go in with 2 pumps, again, half with the brush, half with a sponge. In their how-to instructions, they did say you could use either or, so they said try sponge or foundation brush, so I'm gonna try both. What's important about this, so this is vegan and cruelty-free, which is amazing, and this foundation is only $11 at Ulta, so this is very affordable compared to, you know, other foundations that they would have at Ulta. And so I have seen reviews and heard reviews where people are saying this is just as good as some of those really, really expensive high-end foundations. And so we're gonna try it out and see what I think. So for my shade, I did get 004, which is Neutral Porcelain. Right there, and it has a little sticker on it on the side, and then it doesn't have it on the bottom, which I thought was interesting, so that's why I didn't peel this off, but you could peel this off if you wanted to. So the way the foundation came was this little sticker had a barcode sticker here, and so I just twisted it and the barcode broke and I took that sticker off but left the sticker on, so I would make sure to remember what shade it was. So I think this should be a pretty good match for me. We will see. So I'm going to apply the foundation, talk about it while I'm applying it, and then I will go and put on the rest of my makeup, come back, kind of talk about what it looks like with the rest of my makeup on. And for today's makeup look, I'm just gonna do kind of a soft, quick spring look because it is Sunday and I need to get some work done. So just something kind of more simple than what I would normally do. And like I did last time, I'll come back and tell you what products I used on my face and kind of hold them up and show them to you. There are some new products in there as well that I also got at Ulta. And so I'll just kind of review those too. So just keep watching and I'm gonna start applying this foundation. So I'm shaking it up. One thing I did notice when I first got it, so I went to twist it to break that barcode, and the first time I did, this pump got stuck in the lid. And so it just pulled out like the whole entire stopper. And so at first I didn't even realize that I had a pump, but then when I was going on the Ulta website and looking to read about the foundation, I saw that in the picture it had a white pump on it. So that was how I figured out that I had done it the wrong way. So if you are like me, you may twist the gold part to break the little seal, but you just pull the gold cap off and then you have the pump. Another thing that I thought was really cool about this foundation is it does have watermelon seed oil. I love watermelon. I like the fragrance of watermelon, any products with watermelon, the color of watermelon, anything like that. So originally I wasn't aware of that when I purchased it, but then obviously I saw that when I was reviewing it on the website and I thought that that was really cool. So this will be my first time using the pump. Obviously it's brand new. 1, 2, kind of leaked a little bit after that. So very liquidy, kind of rolling down my hand. So I'll start with my foundation brush. So my favorite foundation brushes are the IT Cosmetics brushes, which are also cruelty-free. And so this is one of their IT Cosmetic brushes specifically made for Ulta. This is the number 77. And this one specifically is their full coverage complexion brush, not blush. And so obviously I like full coverage foundation, so this is one of my favorite brushes to use. So I'm just gonna kind of dip in a little bit, get some on there, and I will start applying to this side of my face. So it looks like I probably have done, again, gotten too much out, but we'll see. It's going on really smooth. It feels serum-y, like a serum kind of foundation. It doesn't seem to be going on streaky at all. And one thing that I like about this brush, because of the shape of it, is after I apply it, I can kind of gently press it into the skin. And I feel like that does a really good job of giving it like kind of a natural finish. And then if you have any little spots left, you can go over it with a sponge. I think that that looks pretty good. I forgot to do my forehead, so I'm going to take just a tiny bit more and go in on my forehead. Again, probably grab too much again. Really like it so far. I'm not sure if it's gonna oxidize, but looks like a pretty decent shade match, but it's hard to tell until I actually get it on. So here's my face with just moisturizer on. Did not use a primer today because I wanted to see how the foundation did. And then this is with the brush. So I'd say it looks pretty good. You can kind of see my pores in this area, but this is like the worst area of my skin always for pores and for texture. Yeah, so let's try the sponge out. So my sponge, again, sorry, it's dirty. I used it yesterday. This is one of the Beauty Bakerie sponges, and I prefer these to the Beauty Blender, and they're much cheaper. You can buy them in a little egg carton packaging that's so cute. So I highly recommend these over the Beauty Blender if you are someone who likes sponges but does not want to pay the price of the Beauty Blender. So I still have a lot left on the back of my hand. I'm just going to go in with the little flat part on the back. Pick it up like that, and then just bounce it around on my face. So obviously your sponge coverage goes on a little bit lighter than with a full coverage foundation brush. So this is kind of a lighter look for the foundation. Alright, so I think that that looks pretty good. It's very obvious that this side is much more full coverage than the sponge side. So I would probably, if I were doing this again, honestly, I would probably start with the brush, go over the whole face with the foundation with the brush, and then go back in and just kind of take the Beauty Blender to get rid of any harsh lines and try to kind of spread it out. So what I'm going to do now to try to make it more even is get this side that had the foundation brush and try to kind of buff a little of it out with the sponge. And then I'm going to add a tiny bit more just to add to this side of my face, which is still lighter coverage. So the finish on this is supposed to be a skin-like finish, which I thought was very interesting. Again, as someone who has a lot of texture, I would love if I could have a skin-like finish on a full coverage foundation, but usually I don't. There aren't many products I feel like that actually can achieve that, being full coverage, but then also giving you kind of the skin-like finish, but we will see where we end up with this one. All right, so I still think this side is looking more full coverage than this side. Yeah, but that's okay. I'll finish up the rest of my makeup, and then we can come back and kind of compare the sides. So off the bat, my initial thoughts are it does look good. It kind of has a bit of a luminous, dewy look, which I don't mind at all. And I think that it did a decent job as far as texture goes. You can see my pores definitely right there and right there. I would say the sponge side is a little bit worse, and you can kind of see my texture here, which is another one of my like problem areas. But it's not super bad. I definitely have foundations that have done like way worse than that. So what I'm going to do now is get concealer on, because I like to use concealer obviously for the bags under my eyes, get that set with powder and do the rest of my makeup. And then I will be back to kind of talk about what it looks like when I actually have everything else on my face. But I do think it's a pretty decent shade match for me. Maybe a little bit off, but definitely I think we'll be fine once the rest of my makeup is on. So I will go do that, and then I will be right back. All right, so I went ahead and did the rest of my makeup. I know I said I was gonna do like a soft spring look, but I got a little carried away, which is not surprising because I usually get a little carried away. And before I go over the other products that I put on my face today, I just want to update on the foundation. So The foundation is awesome. I actually love it. I think that the color ended up being a good color match for me overall. Everything blended really, really nicely on top of the foundation. I do think that it went full coverage for me. I definitely can still see this kind of spot here got better with texture, but as you can see, like my nose here and like right in here is still kind of a problem area. I think, sorry, that's my cats. I think that possibly the reason that this is not looking so great may not be the foundation. It actually might be the setting powder that I used to set the concealer under my eyes. So I'm not entirely sure if I want to blame that on the foundation just yet. But overall, I'm very happy with it. I would definitely recommend this to people. I think that if you are someone who your skin does well with hyaluronic acid, this would be like a great option for you overall. It is, so I set it with a setting spray. It is still a little bit transfer, so when you touch it, it's a little sticky. It is getting on my fingers a little bit, so it would transfer. It didn't have a scent that I smelled or noticed, which a lot of people like about it. So overall, I'm super happy with this. I do feel like it's hydrating, so that's one of the, in the title is that it's supposed to be a hydrating long wear foundation. So obviously I just put it on. I can't tell you what I think about how long it lasts, but I'm definitely planning to wear this to work tomorrow, and I can give updates in my next video. And I think I should have at least 2 more videos coming out this week. So I'll probably use it again in those 2 videos and kind of give updates after I've like worn it, you know, for like 8 hours at work, worn it with a mask, all that good stuff. But first impressions as of right now, I absolutely love it. And for $11, I mean, like, this is quality, quality, quality stuff. So again, this is what the bottle looks like. This is the brand Catrice. What I would recommend is that if you do purchase it from Ulta, Ulta usually has on their website or on their app little coupon codes at the bottom. Typically it's 20% off one item or your qualifying purchase, or it'll be $3.50 off a $15 purchase. So those promo codes don't work on prestige brands at Ulta. They only work on like the drugstore brands or the non-prestige brands. So what's great is that Catrice is actually not a prestige brand, so you can use those coupons on this. So it's full price at $11, but you can pick it up for a lot cheaper if you use those coupons. Obviously, if you did the $3.50 off 15, you would have to pick up another item to hit the $15 mark since it's only $11. But basically it would kind of be like almost getting a free item because again, it's $3.50 off and you've already spent $11. So keep that in mind. I do have a couple of other recommendations for things that you could maybe pick up at Ulta that I used on my face today. So I wanted to quickly go over those. So as usual, I had, obviously you watched me put the foundation on. I then went in with Milk Makeup's bronzer stick, and this is in the shade, I think, Baked. Yeah, the Baked Matte Bronzer. I think it's really good for fair skin tones. It doesn't pull too orange. It's not my favorite shade, but it doesn't pull orange, so it's a pretty good one. After I bronzed, I did go in with my concealer, and I used this little tiny sample of the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer, which is like cult classic. Everyone loves this stuff. I used the shade Fair Neutral, and I'm really excited because they came out. So a lot of people who, okay, most people love this, but the people who don't love this said that it kind of dried their skin out a little bit under the eye area, and you know that area is so delicate. So Tarte just put out a creamy version of this concealer, and I have it ordered. It should come in the mail sometime this week, so it'll probably pop up in one of those 2 videos that I'm gonna do. But I'm definitely, whenever I use that, gonna kind of do a comparison between this original one and the creamy one. I'm thinking that like when I was younger, this was perfect for me and it didn't dry out my under eyes at all. But as my skin has matured and gotten older, this, like I said, this is my biggest problem area. So I think that it might actually be a great situation for me to be able to get a creamy version of this, assuming that it's still as full coverage and long lasting as this little one was. And I should say I've purchased that in full size. I think I've gone through 3 tubes of that since it came out over the years. So it's a really good quality product. But everyone kind of loves that, so that's not a surprise. After that, and when the concealer went on, I did go ahead and set my face with my Beauty Bakerie Flour Setting Powder. This came in a mystery box from the Beauty Bakerie website, and the shade that I have is the yellow one, Cassava. And usually yellow is good for people who need to brighten their under eyes, but I think that I might actually be so fair that it's actually pulling yellow on me. So instead of brightening, it's just kind of giving me a yellowish tint. And I think you can definitely see that when I come in close. So literally where the powder went, you can see it has a yellow tint. So I normally use this in the translucent shade, which is phenomenal. I think I just need to stick with the translucent shade, but again, I got this in a mystery box and didn't get to pick the color. So I think this would be great for darker skin tones that need brightening on their face, but this setting powder really, really is good. It doesn't dry, like it doesn't make my skin feel dry. I don't think it makes my face look cakey or powdery. It's one of the best ones that I've honestly ever tried, so I really enjoy that. And then just as a reminder, the sponge that I used earlier, this was also Beauty Bakerie. And Ulta actually has a little kit where you can get the sponge, the powder, and their setting spray, which I don't have with me right now, but it's a really, really good setting spray. Highly recommend it. It smells like cake, which I love. And it's a little kit for, I think, $32. And it's a good value when you get the sponge, the powder, and then the setting spray too. So whenever I run out and need to buy more, I'm hoping that Ulta will still have that little kit in stock and I can buy it with that. So after powder, I did blush, and this is actually another little sample that I got. This is more Tarte. It's so tiny. Tarte blush, and this is in the shade Party with lots of A's in it. So P-A-A-A-R-T-Y. And it's just kind of a nude pink soft color. I think it's really pretty for spring. Not anything like super special, but just, you know, like a soft wash of color that I think is really nice. Next, I actually went in with another newer product to me. I've used this a few times before, but this is the Rare Beauty liquid highlighter. So this is in the shade Enchant, which obviously is this pinkish shade. And so the component of this comes out with a little doe foot applicator. That's what the product looks like. And I just dab it on my face. So my cheekbones, obviously, I just do some dots there. I do a little dot on my Cupid's bow on the tip of my nose, and then a little bit like right above the eyebrow, which I actually forgot to do anything on my eyebrows today. So this is just my natural eyebrow. I just ran a brush through it. So sorry if the eyebrows don't look great. I forgot to do them. I do like that liquid highlighter. It's not like a blinding one. I think obviously it's buildable. So if you used a ton of it, it could definitely be blinding. I just buffed it out with the same that Beauty Bakerie sponge. And I really like it for just kind of an everyday look. Is it my favorite highlighter? No. But I do like the brand. I like what the brand stands for. And unfortunately, that's only available at Sephora. So that's, I think, the only product I use in the video that you can't actually pick up at Ulta. After that, let's see, what did I move on to next? Next, I went in, I guess it was my eyeshadow. So this is actually one of my, like, I don't know, go-to eye looks when I'm in a hurry, and I did not do a great job blending it, but basically all I do is I take one of these Too Faced chocolate matte eyeshadow, and it's the melted line, so that's what it looks like. And this is in the shade Warm and Fudgy, and they have a lot of shades. I have 3 myself, but this one is just like a pretty chocolate brown. And so basically the way that this works is I just dot a few dots into my crease, and then I use one brush, and you could use any brush that you wanted to buff it out. And I do recommend doing one eye at a time because it will dry down, not too fast, like you have time to work with it, but I think you want to do one eye, get it where you want it, let that dry down, and then move on to the second eye. But the type of brush that I like to use is kind of a medium-sized little fluffy blending brush. And so this is actually from the Morphe Lisa Frank collection that came out a few months ago, which I love the brushes that I got in that set. I don't know if Ulta still has it in stock, but the bag, I got it mostly for the bag, for the nostalgia with the little leopard on it. But this brush is great for buffing out anything in the crease, powder, liquids, whatever. And so literally I just take that applicator straight from the tube, put a few dots in, and then go in and buff it out. And then once I kind of get this whole area saturated, whatever's left over on my brush, I take it and run it under my lower lash line to just kind of give some balance there. And it's just so easy to use. It's so fast. And you can get those at Ulta. And then, so that's the only I call that my one eyeshadow brush look. And so then what I do is look for a shimmer shade. So this is kind of covered with the blue eyeliner. But if you see that kind of champagne-y shimmer, that is actually another little sample that I got from Ulta. It's so cute. It's from Winky Lux, and I don't know if you can see, but the packaging is little latte cups and inside are kittens. So Winky Lux has the cutest kitten packaging. Of course, it's cruelty-free. I will buy their stuff just for their cat packaging. I mean, it's that cute. But this little sample is from one of their eyeshadow palettes. It's actually from their Latte Kitten palette, which Ulta does have. And when you open the little sample up, it's just one pan of one shade from that. And this is actually the shade Frothy, but it is literally just the perfect shimmer shade to just go in with your finger, pop it on there. You know, you could pop it in the inner corner. I just put it across my entire lid today with my finger, and then good to go. And it gives a little brightness to the eye. Super, super convenient. And again, just their packaging. Even if you don't buy anything, just go to look at their packaging because it's just so cute, especially if you love cats. Obviously, I've got some blue, some pretty striking blue there, so I did that to match my Valfre shirt that I'm wearing today. But I did use, so I've used this in a video before. Still love this just as much as I did the first time I used it. This is Lime Crime's Venus Liner in the shade Dewdrop, and it's just this beautiful pastel baby blue. It's matte, and as you can see, I did get a little bit of mascara on it there, unfortunately. But this is so opaque. It doesn't pick up the eyeshadow that you have down. It really, I cannot recommend this enough if you're someone who likes pastel eyeliners. I know that they have a lot of shades, but there's a white one as well that a lot of people seem to be super into. For me personally, I like this pastel blue better just because it's something a little bit different. And then to kind of go with that in my waterline today, I actually used NYX's Professional Makeup Vivid Brights eyeliner in the shade Love, and I love this. It is again affordable at Ulta. This will be something you could pick up if you're trying to hit $15 to use that $3.50 off coupon with a foundation maybe. But it's retractable, so it just twists up. You don't have to sharpen it. And this is again just a really pretty like periwinkle blue color, and I use this all the time. I love this. It's actually the only one I currently have, but I've heard phenomenal things about all the shades. And again, they have so many to choose from, so that's really nice. And then actually speaking of the mascara that kind of transferred, this mascara transfers pretty bad, but it's still my favorite of all mascaras. So another thing you could pick up at Ulta, this is from Essence, which is one of the cheapest brands. You can, like, they're one of the cheapest brands in the entire store. And this is their Lash Princess Mascara in False Lash Effect. So they have a lot in these little tubes with this like decorative coloring on it. I've tried all of them. This is the one that I like the best, this like minty green packaging. I think that this makes my lashes look way longer than any other mascara has ever done. I don't think it's super like voluminizing necessarily, but for me, I just really like that look of really long separated eyelashes. I think that's just really pretty for me personally. It has the one that looks like this. And really, I just can't say enough good stuff about this. I think this is either $4.99 or $5.99. And again, if you wanted to pick up that $11 foundation, use the promo code. This would be something you could pick up that the coupons will also work on. Seriously, cannot recommend this enough. This is like my tried and true favorite mascara. All right, so I think that is everything on the eyes, but I'll let you kind of look at my lashes. And I really don't have long lashes, so this is pretty good for me and how my lashes look with other mascaras. And then we'll move on to lips. So I did, like I said in my last video, I'm not a lip gloss person really at all, unless it's like a bright, really opaque color. But this is what, you know, is coming out for spring season, and this is what people are really into. So I picked up a couple of these. But before I talk about the gloss I'm wearing, I did just pop this Melt lip liner in the shade Nudist. Just outline my lips. Again, it's one of those colors that's just slightly darker than my natural lip color, and it's like a nudie pink. So I don't really feel like it takes away from the color of the lipstick or the gloss that you use. It just kind of gives a little definition to the lips. And I only did an outline. I didn't completely fill in my lips. So what I do have on my lips is another new product at Ulta, another product from NYX. And this is Milky Gloss. So this is a little bit more expensive than traditional NYX lip products, but I think that it's worth it, and there's a couple of reasons why. So first and foremost, I think that this packaging is absolutely beautiful. So I don't think NYX, at least to my knowledge, has ever had this kind of glassy, frosted packaging, and I think it looks really high-end and really, really pretty. The color of the cap, I guess, is supposed to be like the color of the gloss, and so you can see it's pretty opaque, you know, for a lip gloss. but I'll pull it out. This is what the doe foot applicator looks like. Maybe a light vanilla smell, not anything too strong. And this shade is called Cherry Skimmed. So all of the shades have I think all the shades have like a reference to milk in some way because it's called, this is Milky Gloss. So this one actually went on, like I said, not opaque, but like it gave me a wash of color in the gloss, which I really like. I think it's a really pretty shade. I think it's a shade that would be pretty on a lot of people. Of course, there were other shades. I had to pick up the blue one. So this is Milky Gloss in the shade, oh my gosh, Faux Moo. So instead of like FOMO, Faux-Moo, so moo like a cow. I was really hoping that this was gonna give me a cool blue wash on the lips, but it doesn't. It's really just a nice kind of lip oil. I would say if you build it, if you built it up a ton, you may kind of get a little bit of a blue hint, but once you kind of spread it around and it's on your lips, and I mean, you can kind of see the blue tint there, but really it just looks clear on your lips, really pretty. And I think that probably the other lighter shades, there's like a purple and a pink and some more nudes, they probably all just look clear, like a clear gloss on your lip, but they're very comfortable, they're not sticky. I like that they're thick without being like goopy thick, so they feel like a nice high quality gloss. So if you're someone who likes lip glosses, I would definitely recommend checking those out because it's, again, I think NYX really elevated packaging and their product, and they did a really, really good job with those, if you're into lip glosses. So looking back over, I believe that I have went over everything that's on my face. So just one more time, I will show the foundation. So this is the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation, Hyaluronic Acid and Long Wear. For me, did great. I'm really enjoying how it looks. I would say I have normal to combination skin, but a lot of texture usually. And I think that it did really well. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, if you pick this up at Ulta, use one of those coupons and grab it with another item, because you potentially, depending on what you buy, could basically get something for free if it's from one of the cheaper brands. My number one recommendation if you do that is, again, this Essence Lash Princess Mascara. But I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions at all, I'm happy to answer them down below. And I definitely will update on the longevity of the foundation in one of my next videos later this week. And like I said, I'm planning to do at least 2 more this week. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. I love talking to people who are into makeup as much as I am. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I'll see you in the next video.